cheers. Cheers to, I don't know what. Cheers to the new year. New year. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Dorks Down Under Season 3, Episode 1, ladies and gentlemen. Season 3, Episode 1. We can't get this one wrong. We say that. We can't get this one wrong. It's the first episode back. God forbid. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We've had a nice break off sort of thing. We've been basically sending memes to each other for literally the last month and a bit.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the
It's
funniest
pretty
thing
much-
about it is it's just like we just kind of like I feel like that's just our life now. Where we just send memes to each other.
Just shit posting to each other all the time. Oh my god, have you seen this?
Yeah, and it's normally stupid shit that like has no bearing on anything, but it just works. It just works.
We are available, ladies and gentlemen, on all good podcast forums. If we are not, please let us know in the chat and the comments. Please make sure you do subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as Spotify, where you can see our beautiful podcast in person. But we are available. We do take comments. We do take fan suggestions and everything else. Dogs Down Under is obviously the podcast where we aim to deliver basically our one basic therapy session each week on us, as well as discuss all the random dorkly nature of things going on in the industry and stuff like that. But this week's episode, we're going to discuss Christmas and New Year's and what we got up to and stuff like that. Everybody loves Christmas.
I don't.
Apart from me this year. I was a bit of a Grinch this year.
Why?
Bit of a Grinch.
You're normally like Captain Christmas. Like you're annoyingly Christmas. Like if you watched our last two podcasts of season 2, Christmas threw up on you, and you were happy as a pig in shit.
Listen, I was happy. Now this is where the audacity starts, right? The audacity. Okay. Now, me and Elle, we have an agreement every year where we discuss, where we say, oh, we're doing stockings or whatever, blah 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 blah, X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Now, said stockings. She went, no, we're not doing stockings. I went, okay. Now, being a man, especially a married man.
Being a man, I don't listen.
No. But when she says, oh, we're not doing stockings, my brain went, yeah, nah, good try. You're not catching me out. So I went and I did some stocking gifts for her and everything else. And literally she only noticed on Christmas Eve that she went, why has my stocking got stuff in it? And I went, because for Christmas. And she went, but we're not doing stockings. I went, yeah, I know. She went, no, Jordan, I've actually not done you a stocking. And I went, okay. She went,
bullshit.
Okay. And I felt hurt. She lied. She actually told the truth. She's been caught out. But anyway, so that was the first thing. The second thing.
Married life. I love this. Married life. Sometimes she lies. Sometimes she tells the truth. You're not going to know which one. But you've got to try to preempt it.
Yes, so I have to be a mind reader, right? Okay, so the second thing is, right, this year we did something different, because normally at some point in the month before Christmas, me and Elle say, oh, could you get me X? Oh, could you get me Y? Yeah. Okay? Now, bear in mind, we're on the build-up to Christmas, and she hasn't told me anything yet. And I found, I think the warehouse, they had this big Lego set. It was one of the big, Lego Flowers Bouquet series one. And I saw it and I thought, oh, actually, it's got a bunch of Ellie's favourite flowers and she might like that, actually. It was it wasn't going to be the main gift. It was going to be, found this, it looks good. I'm just going to get it to her, okay? Oh. So I paid for that, got home, literally next day, she turns up and she drops off into my arms an entire thing of books, of a book series that she really wants to read, right? Because she's on her books and everything else and it's good. It's good,
man.
No complaints.
Education.
And then she went, this is my Christmas present, thank you very much. And I said, okay, so what am I doing? She went, oh, you got to wrap it and everything. I went, oh, got you. Okay, no worries. So I thought, well, this is great. But then she asked me the question of, what do you want? I was like, I don't know. Because this is the thing, right? As a man, I'm sure you do the same thing, right? When you suddenly want something or you need something, what do? You
just go and buy it.
You just go and buy it, don't you?
Yeah.
That's the thing. So when she says to me, this is like 3 weeks before Christmas, I go, what do you want? I go, She went, no, you must want something. I went, I don't know. And it was literally that weekend I ended up realising, I need some new gym shoes. Because obviously I've hammered my last pair. they're getting to that stage of where they're not quite worn through, but suddenly you realise that your foot hurts while you're trying to run on the treadmills.
That happens
and you're
to
like,
me.
yeah, I think I need some
I'm
padding.
not good at running.
So I was
remember I told you that I've always worn skate shoes from when I was skating to all the time. And
I love skate shoes.
And then Cherish is like, when we went hiking, she's like, you keep tripping over stuff. I'm like, well, because it's uneven. And she's like, well, why don't you get some gym shoes or some runners? And I was like, all right, cool. And it changed my life. And I was like, oh my God, they're so light. I still wear gym shoes every single day, but anytime I'm doing anything remotely active, mate, they're amazing. They're light, they're fun.
They are. So what I ended up saying is that I thought to myself, because obviously I need to not only get my Christmas present, but being the blessing that I am, I decided to be born on Boxing Day.
Yeah, I know.
Of all, because obviously I know no audacity to ruin everyone else's Christmas.
Yeah, I want Christmas presents and birthday presents, but they need to be a day apart.
Ideally, a day spaced apart. But anyway, so while I was there, I ended up picking up some gym shoes, and I was like, great, these are good, and they're really comfy and everything else. I thought, belter, this is my Christmas gift.
Yeah.
And then at the shopping centre I was at, they've got this little outlet section. And I went in there, and there's a Converse store. Now, I don't really ever buy Converse because most of the time they don't fit my foot right because I have a bit of a wide foot.
Yeah, that's what I find too. And they're just awkward and they just feel weird. And you've got to go up like 3 sizes. But then you've got 7 inches and,
Yeah, I know, but I still aspire to having a pair of Converse, right? Because I grew up on American movies and I just love the look of them.
Yeah.
But I was in the Converse store and I was at the obviously everything's discounted anyway, but I was at the reduced aisle, right? On the last section.
So it's a reduced store and there's a reduced aisle. Like
it's like the last.
How sad and depressing must those shoes be when it's like?
Oh, but I got me some pretty ones, brother, and they fit like a glove. They fit. It's like they were designed for my foot.
That's probably why no one could get them because they're just awkwardly Jordan sized.
Honestly, I have no idea why. But these ones are in collaboration with Gore-Tex. I don't know if you know who Gore-Tex are.
Aren't they the ones that make those kind of like almost like the
super waterproof jackets?
Yeah.
So these not only look like Converse, but these are waterproof as shit. These are really good. So I found these ones and I bought them as well. And I text Ellie. So this is like a couple of weeks before Christmas, right? And I texted her saying, "Thank you for my Christmas presents." Yeah. And she sent a thing. She's at work, so she sent a puzzle thing on, huh? Because obviously she's forgotten, because she's obviously set a precedent.
Yeah.
and forgotten what she's done. And I said, "Oh, you know how you dropped your books off? Well, I have dropped off my gifts for my Christmas and my birthday. They're in the spare room for you." And, oh, okay.
I must say though, I feel like that's a really great way of doing it because
it was
quite often.
I actually think it's a really good idea because at least I'm getting something that I want, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But this is where the audacity happens. So bear in mind, okay, Christmas, we've got all the presents under the tree. I've wrapped all the Vels, including the extra one, all her books that she wanted, blah blah. I've done all that, right? And we're going for all the gifts, and suddenly I'm like, why have I not been given a pair of trainers? And I said to her, and because there's no gifts left under, I was like, Elle, have you forgotten a gift? And she went, no. I was like, okay, let's try this again. Have you forgotten a gift? And she went, what gift? I went, maybe a pair of shoes? And she went, I haven't wrapped them. I was like, oh great.
It's your birthday present.
So I was like, no, she even hadn't wrapped it for my birthday either. So I was like, oh, so not only no stocking, but I don't even get a gift from you technically because you're not giving me...
Wow.
I was such a pouty little baby because I didn't get to bear in mind, I had other gifts to unwrap. It's not like I had nothing to unwrap.
Yeah, but still.
But I gave her the third degree. She was not happy with me by the end of the day,
rude.
sort of thing. I was, but I tell you what, right? So one other thing that happened with is that I discovered a thing with my work. They have a thing called Ham Day. Okay. Now, bear in mind, I discovered the great thing of the joy of Crate Day in New Zealand, which is the first Saturday of December. You're going to go to the pub, you buy yourself a big crate full of these, and it's a day of drinking. Sounds great.
I was going to say, how is that New Zealand and not English?
I know, but English do it every day. It's that's every Friday, that is. But so obviously, when someone said Ham Day, I was like, "What's that?" Because I've never heard of it before until I started working at this one. So on the last week of Christmas, they give you a ham and stuff like that. And I thought, oh, okay, that's really nice of them, so that way I can cook it for Christmas dinner and blah, 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 blah. Great.
They give you a ham.
Now, bear in mind, they asked me, specifically a couple of weeks before, how many are in your family? I was like, oh, it's just me, Elle, and the boy. Okay. Figured, they're going to give me a small ham. Just
like a quarter, half a ham or quarter of a ham.
A quarter, something small, right? Okay. So I turn up and, it's the last day and blah, 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 and they're getting out the hams. And they said, oh, Jay, this one's for you. 4.5 kilos. Bone in. Yes, this thing was...
You know what you could do? You could just French the bottom of the bone and then just walk around and bam the crap out of people. For those younger people, there's a kid called Flintstones.
This thing, I kid you not, looked like it belonged in the Flintstones. And I literally said, I was like, oh no, I thought I was getting a small one. Surely I guess. No, I said everyone gets the same size, so there's no argument. So I went, everybody's got 4.5 kilos.
So which means me as a single person would get a 4.5 kilo ham.
So everyone's getting 4.5 kilos to make it fair. Fine. But the problem is that most families here are huge, right? Bear in mind, on Christmas Day, it was just going to be us, and then we're going to have the neighbours turn up in the evening, one set of neighbours. And I'm like, right.
Tell me you didn't just shrink wrap half of it and go, here's half a ham.
Alright, so what I did is I fired up the smoker for the day. We had a great day on the smoker.
Nice.
Great day on the smoker, right? So I did a boned-in beef, and I did that with hickory wood and rub and everything else. So I did a bit like a brisket, but not as soft.
So what did you use? So you boned in what? Boned in...
It was, well, we got some home kill, and it just says beef on bone. So I'm assuming it was a shoulder blade by the bit that I pulled out. But I couldn't quite confirm it. I'm not an expert in anatomy on cattle.
Cow Anatomy 101.
So I did that with the last of the hickory wood I have. And I was like, great, fabulous. And then I threw some more charcoal on to get it hot again. And then I got some apple wood. And then threw this ham on. And I did a bourbon maple glace. And I'll kid you not, fucking delicious.
Sorry, I don't know if this camera shows, but my nipples are hard.
Oh, honest to God, it was good. I literally, because I was like, I don't know what to do with a ham, because I've never ever cooked a ham. You literally
just score it, glaze it, chuck it on, and forget about it.
I know, but I've never done it before, and every time we've turned up at a party, and there's a ham being served, it's already done and prepped. I've never seen anyone make it, So I was like, great, what do I do? But luckily, my phone listens to me, and TikTok immediately put me onto Ham Talk for Christmas.
What? Ham Talk. That is brilliant.
Ham Talk. That's where this one turned up, and I thought, ooh, bourbon and maple. Yes, yes, yes. That sounds immense. And I tell you what, it was really tasty, and we had ham for about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
The ham and cheese toasted sandwiches you could do with that thing was immense. The stir-fried rice, the special fried rice I made.
With the ham,
really good as well. Oh yeah, we also did like carbonara with we were sick of ham. We're sick of ham. We don't want ham in this house for another couple of weeks.
Times like this, like I wish I had your address, just so I could randomly send you, like, just get Amazon New Zealand to just send you like a random bits of ham, like, and I wouldn't be sending him massive pieces. I'd just be sending him like a pack of like Don's sliced hams just to mess with him, because I just think that would be funnier.
Honestly, it was. But obviously, when they gave me the ham, they gave me a ham bag as well. And I was like, what the hell's this?
What ham bag?
A ham bag, yes. It's designed so you, rather than wrapping it, you put it in this, you damp this bag down with like vinegar and water.
I'm Googling.
You soak it in, and then you put the ham in there, and it keeps it moist. It doesn't dry out, it doesn't go bad. And I thought, I don't know how comfortable I am doing this. Because you've got to redo.
So it's kind of almost like it looks like what's it called? A Muslim cloth. Sort of like
it's a bit like it
bag.
is. But it's a bit weird doing it. But I tell you what, the ham was great. It tastes just as good in week 3 as it did in week 1, and I was like, okay, this is good to know.
It just sounds weird because obviously, especially with the accent, handbag. Just the way you roll it together.
I will admit, with my accent, it always sounds like I'm saying a handbag.
Yes. Because English aren't known.
The connotation of putting ham in a handbag is I don't know what you would even draw from that, but it does sound like something a crazy person would do.
Yeah. Sorry, I just got a text message. When I bought beer, Cherishy's like, "Can I get a Jack Daniels?" And I was like, "Yeah, because she doesn't drink much, like at all. Like she drinks even less than me." And then she's like, "You reckon you can get me another Jack Daniels? I want to get super drunk." I was like, "It's on 2 cans." But to be fair, she doesn't drink that often that it would actually happen. I'm like, "Yeah, I might get you one later."
Wait, is it those pre-mixers ones?
Yeah, they're just the pre-mix ones.
Oh, honest to God, the last time I had one, I was like, "Where's the Jack in this? I can't taste it." I ended up adding another shot in after I took a few sips.
Every person I know does exactly that, but it says it's 2 standard drinks, weirdly.
We say 2 it can't be. It is so weak.
Because by law, especially in Australia, you have to have actually, you probably can't see that, but there's a little can that has like 2.8 drinks.
No, this one's 2.5.
Yeah, so in Australia, you actually legally have to have that. So what often happens is that it will actually say like 2 standard drinks and stuff like that, and at times they get checked. But yeah, when I saw
don't get me wrong.
It said 2.8 standard drinks, and I looked at it and I'm like, in that, I'd drink like 6 of those and not even feel anything.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, don't get me wrong. Like, I see this. I mean, this is a 40. They call these 14 ounces. I think. 14. You know, you look at this and he's like, 2.5 drinks. Yeah, that's about right. It does. Yeah, that's about. Yeah, if I was to have 2.5 pints worth. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Or two English pints. Yeah, that sounds about right. But yeah, it's just it amazes me those RTDs. Although Elle's been enjoying them, funnily enough. She's been enjoying the gin ones, sort of thing. Oh, the gin advent calendar is finally disappearing.
Finally disappearing.
She's been enjoying it, enjoying her holidays.
Yeah, I was going to say, plus she works so hard, and it's not like she can have one every day because the way she works and the craziness hours and the all kinds of over the shop.
Honestly, I didn't have a chance to drink all mine every day. So what I ended up after the first week, I was like, you know what I'm just going to do? I'm going to stock them all up, and then I'll drink them on my birthday. Because obviously, because the way I always do my birthday, right? My birthday is done.
Be mindful, people, advent calendar, 24 beers. That's what he's having for his birthday.
Oh, but this is what I do, right? So I always go overboard cooking food on Christmas Day, right?
Yes.
Because I don't really want to cook on my birthday.
Yes.
Okay? Never have. I always enjoy having leftovers. It's always been sort of the thing of having good leftovers, you know, and doing something with it, or just, you know, re-having a Christmas dinner. There's no problem in my opinion. But all I did extra on my birthday is I was like, you know what I really want? I want some chicken wings. I want some hot and spicy chicken wings. You know, just because. So I made some plain chicken wings and I had all the hot sauces out. Because we had our friends come over in the afternoon and with their kids. And literally I was sat there just cracking open these random cans of, you know, because they're all one-offs as well. So I was jumping from craft IPA to Pilsner to like low carb this and high carb that, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a good day.
It's going to be a good day. I'm going to be dead.
Oh, but there was one slight error in judgment. So one of our friends, one of their kids, because of course I had my hot sauces out because I'm having hot sauce as I go. He was warned. The FYI that these sauces are hot. Don't really use them because they're so he picks off. You know how with hot sauce after a while you get a little crusty bit sort of thing. You know, the concentrate that's dried out.
Yeah.
He picked off a little bit off the bomb.
That little boy's mind would have exploded.
He then proceeded to put that bit in his mouth, and then proceeded to start crying. And then we were like, what's wrong? And then he started just pointing at the bottle.
I'm man enough to know that you can cry when you have some of that stuff. Because there's been some hot sauces that I've had that I was like, yeah, this is insane.
Elle quickly realised what he had done and quickly got him the biggest cup of milk she could, and then was like, hang on, drink this while I get you an ice cream. We'll get you some ice cream.
Far out.
And he was just there. I was howling. I couldn't stop laughing.
That's
because at this point, I was about 12 beers deep at this point. So when this happened, I just lost it. Yes. I thought it was the funniest thing since sliced bread. The kid's dad was like, "Oh, why do we even tell you? Why do we even tell you?"
Yeah.
It's like, I might as well just let you do it. God, we did. It's not like we warned you.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you're just like, bro, you're just gonna learn from your mistakes now. You're an idiot.
Oh yeah. I guarantee you, he ain't gonna touch any bottle, any hot sauce bottle in this house ever again after that experience. God. But yeah,
I do find it funny though, because some people seem to just like they just don't listen.
Mm.
And I'm just
so what happened with your Christmas and Boxing Day? Did you have fun?
So mine was actually not bad, because pretty much my brother went away to Mount Martha, where his partner's family has a holiday house. So they said, we're going to do it on the 23rd. I'm like, fantastic. So I finished work on the Saturday. About lunchtime, Cherish and I went on the 23rd. Christmas Eve, we went shopping. We cooked ossobuco. But me being me, went, Cherish likes ossobuco, and we're probably not going to eat much during the day. So what we ended up doing is we grabbed an ossobuco. The problem is the ossobuco is about this thick, about 1.5 inches thick. And my dumb ass decided to grab 5. There's 2 of us.
I need to ask a dumb question.
Yes.
Just to clarify and make sure that I'm thinking of the same dish, right?
Yes.
Ossobuco is the one where you put into tacos and you're dipping, no?
No. So ossobuco is the... So you remember how I sent you that funny thing that looked like Thor's hammer, where it had like the big bit of meat, it looked like a giant shank?
Oh,
Pretty much what it is, it's the shin of the cow, and what they do actually do is they slice it across it. And what you normally do is you seal it off, take it out, onions, garlic, then what you do is you put crushed tomato, red wine to deglaze the plan from the onions and garlic. You put in some red wine, so either beef stock, I put in some crushed tomatoes as well, bay leaves, oregano, put it back in, chuck it in the oven, let it stew for several hours. And you've got because it's the shin, you've normally got this big thing like this with the marrow in it. So it becomes
which then melts down, gives you good marrow flavor.
If you get it out just right, you can actually eat the marrow on a little bit of toast, which is awesome. But the problem is mine were like 1.5 inches thick. So I reckon I probably got about 3/4 of the shin for 2 of us. So for anyone, I'm probably about 100 kilos. Cherish is about soaking wet, between 45 and 50. She is tiny. But her family her dad was a meat producer when she was young. So she actually has, so she loves meat and can eat heaps of meat. So I bought it, and it's stewing away and stuff. When I bought it out, she grabs one. She's like, can I grab some of yours? I'm like, there's more in there. Grab a couple. And she had a look, and there's like, how many did you get? I'm like, I got 4. I got 5. She's like, why do you need 5? I'm like, I just thought we'd have a bit of a feast. So we watched movies all day. We had that. It was freaking amazing. And then when it finished, we probably had about 2.5 shanks left. So I shredded all the meat, took it away. The marrow, Cherish, I put on a bit of toast because she'd never eaten it that way and absolutely loved it. We had Brussels sprouts and potatoes that we cooked in there to soak up all the sauce. And then served it with a little side of polenta. To be fair, when I say little side of polenta, it was like
I don't think you can ever make polenta for just the right amount.
No, we did. I wanted to make it small. Like, we didn't want much. She just wanted we just wanted a little side, and it was perfect. But it was kind of cool.
Every time I've made polenta, and I'm like, I only need this much.
Yeah.
But somehow that much always produces like this pile, and I'm like, how?
Well, normally how I work it out is that chances are whatever you're going to cook, after the time you cook it with the water and stuff, and then you add the butter at the end, it's probably going to be about 4 times. So if you're making a cup, you're probably going to get 4 cups of polenta. So I would normally make about a quarter.
Always do a quarter of what you want.
That's how I work it out. You sometimes get a little bit less. So sometimes it's a third, sometimes it's a quarter. It sounds weird, but it depends on the polenta as well. Coarser grind and less coarser grind does it. Yeah, it's a whole heap of things. So
I've just suddenly thought we've turned into a cooking show without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
right. Go on, carry on.
I was going to say, up next is the pressure test, where we just take a box off. I've got to cook from that.
Up next, the technical challenge.
But yes, and then what happened is we had so much meat left, like ridiculous amounts of meat left. So I shredded it all up, took out all the fat, put it in a bowl, and the next day we cooked up some rice, some black beans, made pico de gallo, some guacamole, and made these burritos that were about this fat. And we ate that, which was just amazing and just ridiculous. And then, pretty much I didn't do much. It was great. I literally just chilled. Like, I played video games at night, which was fun. I'm kind of obsessed with this game called Farlight, which is kind of like Fortnite without all the bullshit, without all the building, without all the stupidity and stuff. So I kind of really like it. It's just a thing. And then I played with a friend of mine, Goddess, who's a Twitch streamer. Her name's April, but her thing's Goddess Gaming 69. Just because it's funny. But yeah.
Shout out to Goddess Gaming. Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Goddess Gaming 69. Because it's weird to say it without it, and also weird to say it with it. So it's kind of funny. But no, and so I just played a bit of that, and I literally relaxed. And then about 2 days ago, I got well excited. So I'm an old wrestling fan from back in the day. Grew up watching it. I remember going to Video Easy and then Civic Video back in the day, and I used to get weeklies where I'd grab all wrestling videos and I'd watch them religiously. I think I actually got the new release of SummerSlam number 4, which was great, and I was madly in love and thought he was the best guy ever. Was Bret the Hitman Hart, bubblegum pink and black, part of the Hart Foundation, Calgary royalty. But he is coming to Australia for the first time in 30 years, and I am ridiculously excited. So it's in Ballarat, weirdly, which is about 2 hours away from me here. Like, it's kind of out of Melbourne. But yeah, so I literally went...
That's still close enough to drive.
That's exactly it. But so he's signing between 9 and 1 on the Sunday, and I've got the Sunday to myself, and it means that hopefully I can get back for the podcast if I do that. But
Which Sunday is this?
Like the 14th of April, I'm going to say.
Okay, all right.
Around about then.
Anyway, we can make it work. We can work around that.
So I'm kind of getting to meet one of my heroes. So I'm super excited by that. To the point where even to this day, if you go on Steam, one of my Steam thing is the Hitman, because I had that for many years when I played roller hockey, when I played American football. That was my nickname. Yeah. So it has a special part. And then when I was in Canada, when I was moving to Canada, I was actually reading his book in Canada, like a 3-hour flight from Calgary. And I was so excited when they found out he's coming down, because about 4 or 5 years ago he had a massive stroke and they didn't even think he could talk, but he's obviously a lot better now. So I'm like, yes. So I'm all excited. So I've paid way too much money.
To be fair, I would just be as excited for if I could meet Stone Cold, because Stone Cold. I mean, I grew up watching Jake the Snake and all that jazz, but it was always, I was a little kid, and then I really got bitten as a teen.
Yeah.
Once I'm playing the games on the N64 and watching it properly, and the entire Stone Cold Rock arc was
to be fair though, if for example if Stone Cold, or if we could go see Stone Cold, I would be there too. So at this one, there's going to be Bret Hart and Mickie James, who's a female wrestler from back in the late 90s, I'm going to say. But I don't really mind too much about her, but I'm just really excited to meet Bret Hart, because I'm tossing up whether to actually buy a card to get him to sign it or to sign my book. Ooh. But the problem is my book's kind of like, I've read it several times, so it's not the nicest of books, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but it's for you.
I know.
I mean, obviously, ideally you would have a new book for him to sign.
Yeah, but I don't want to. And that's what I'm feeling like. I'm going to feel weird if it's that. So I managed to pay it's like $220, which is kind of ridiculous. But for a photo with him, and to be able to chat to him for a little bit, and also an autograph. But over in America, he charges because I was asking a guy, because I'm like, bro, if you're going there, how much is it to get an autograph? Because I'd love to get something autographed from him. And they actually said, he's like, yeah, it's $250 American. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, because what was happening is, he was saying that, and I read this in the article, that what was happening was he was getting inundated with people lining up, and he felt bad because he could never get all of them. And then he didn't want to limit. And then when he limited the numbers, obviously, if they're paying, say for example,
it then causes problems because people get there too early or hog the line.
Or even what we're saying too, though, is if his appearance fee is say $20K, if he's spending 10 minutes with every person, all of a sudden he's only making them say $50 a person, and so which means he's not going to get their money back for him. So what he decided to do was make it a little bit more expensive, but then be able to spend that extra time with them, so to be able to talk to them and stuff like that, which I think is kind of sweet. And he goes, unfortunately, it's going to price some people.
So you've certainly got a deal, because what, like 200? I mean, so 250 US would be what?
Closer to about 430 now.
400-ish. So you're getting you're not getting a discount, but you're getting. Not getting a discounted experience per se, but you're going to get sort of that benefit.
I know. So I don't care. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's one of those things where this is a once in a lifetime thing. The last time he was out here was 30 years ago. So it's probably, and to be fair, like obviously they've got on the Sunday night, they've got an evening with Bret Hart, and I've seen a couple of those things on YouTube. And the problem is it's very much dictated where they talk to him a little bit about similar stuff, and then they get people to ask questions. And
it's a bit of a panel, sort of, like when you go to a convention and there's a panel. Oh, okay. All right,
and
that's not bad.
I went to see Anthony Bourdain before he passed, doing the same thing, but with him, it was all stories. He didn't take questions. And I'm like, that's beautiful. But I find when they take questions, you get stupid people, like they're like, oh, who was your greatest opponent? Bro, who cares? Like, we don't care about that. Like, and not to mention, he's answered that 100 times. Just Google it. You'll be able to find it. Or it was like, who did you want to wrestle? I was like, that's literally in his frequently asked questions on his website. Just go check that. Like, stop asking stupid questions. But the problem is because he's a really nice guy, he can't just say, it was Big Boss Man and move on. He actually tells a story about it. So I'm just like, there's so many stupid stories. Like, there's things that, like, I was watching one and this guy asked a question and you literally heard these people go, because obviously he's not just going to say the answer, he's going to actually do it. But it's in his book. I'm like, just read the damn fucking book. So,
all right, well, at least that's something in April to look forward to. So basically, the weekend you'll be able to tell, ladies and gentlemen, because the podcast the week before he'll be like, it's one more week, it's one more week.
And I'm going to come in wearing bubblegum pink and black just out of thingo. That being said, though,
to be fair though, I mean, I saw it the other day. It popped up, you know how you get your random ads pop up on Facebook. This event's happening near you, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Because I missed out last year because obviously of my UK holiday. Because one thing I've always wanted to go see is the darts, like the world.
Yeah. My brother's well into that. He loves it. He goes.
You see, I don't follow it, right? I'm not one of these guys who's like following a certain player, watching all the time. I don't do that. I just enjoy. It's like it used to always be on, like especially when I was a kid. Okay, and I used to go see my dad on a Sunday and blah, blah, blah. And we would be down at the Labour Club and, darts is on. And it's just that atmosphere sort of thing. And then suddenly you end up watching it and you're just like, yes,
But people
you get really into it. And
my brother said that, but my brother also said that what you do is you go there, you get absolutely shitbagged wasted, and then you just scream along with everything. Like he goes, it's almost like going somewhere and just people yelling Aussie, Aussie, Aussie all the time because you're just like 180. and he's like 9 times out of 10 you're so far that you can't even see what it is. But people are like, you just hear this crowd going, oh, so you just join in, and then it's like 100, and there's always this staggered thing, and you're just all blind.
Yeah. But literally, that it popped up on my thing saying, "Oh, they're coming back, and it's going to be in August this year." And I'm like, "Down the road." So I tagged Dinelle, and I said, "We haven't had a chance to talk about it." And I said to her, because we had a date night last night. I was like, "You know what? I kind of tagged you in a post on Facebook," and she went, "Oh, about the darts? Yeah, we're going." I said, "Oh yeah, we're going. We're going."
Mate,
I was like,
that woman.
we're going. Sure, yeah, we need to go. Because we tried to get tickets, because when we started realizing we both enjoy watching it, like, just randomly, we were like, well, should we try and get tickets to Ali Pali? Because obviously we were near London, and Alexandra Palace, I say Ali Pali like everyone knows it. Alexandra Palace is the home of darts. It's like Mecca. It's like Twickenham for rugby in England.
Oh wow!
Right?
Okay, so it's pretty huge.
It's pretty big, but we didn't realise that to go to Alexandra Palace to watch the darts, it's a lottery system. So you got to put your name in and how many people you might have with you, and then it's drawn. And if you get selected, then it's like, right, great, I've got 4 tickets. Who am I taking? Sort of thing. And we tried getting it for it, and of course we couldn't, and blah, blah, blah. But whereas my brother has, he's been twice a lucky sod. But
That's
of course, when they used to always come to New Zealand like every other year, and when they obviously then COVID hit, everything got shut down, and it was like, oh well, next time they come, I want to go see them. And of course, the first time that they decided to come back was when I'm bloody going back to England. I was livid. So when I've seen this, I'm like, babe, so she's like, yes, we can go. And I was like, yes.
That we're gonna worth a weight in gold. How often do you just be like, babe, I want to go to the darts, and she's been like, you do you, boo boo, and her response is, fuck yes.
oh yes, absolutely. No, that woman is worth every weight of gold that she is. Honest to God, she's worth every camel I can sell her for and everything else. But yeah. So anyway, that's something I'm looking forward to. I need to get the tickets booked and organised.
The worst thing is I've got that on the Sunday. Then Cherish's birthday's on the Wednesday, so I've actually got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off because Thursday's Thursday's Anzac Day, and Friday I want to spend with Cherish for her birthday, because we normally do like a 2 or 3 sort of day celebration like over the weekend, because the problem is that weekend is ARC. So I'm like,
oh, it's God.
They've decided randomly to have ARC in the middle of all this thing, and I'm like, fuck's sake. So I'm like, okay, so I've taken Wednesday and Thursday off, so I can spend her birthday with her. I can spend Thursday and Friday with her, so I spend 3 days with her. So that's all good. And then I can go to ARC for 2 days and hope she won't be too mad. Hope.
Oh, brother, you're going to be... We're going to have to organise that week.
I swear to God, man. Like, if we record at all, like, I'm just going to be like 10 shades of exhausted.
Yeah, I'm sure we could work out a double episode week some week.
Yeah, I know, because it's just going to be insane.
Oh, my God.
But it's going to be fun.
Anyway,
I'm excited.
Getting back to everything, because I've realised how much of a tangent we have flown off on. Because it's good to know that some things don't change on this podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Some things definitely never change.
That being said, though, just on the Bret Hart thing, I own Bret Hart's undies. It's okay. There is a story behind that, but I thought I would do that because it's going to be great for TikTok.
Yeah, we're gonna circle back to that at some point in the future. I'm gonna leave that one. That sounds far too of an interesting story. That sounds like closer to the. Oh, there you can get them signed.
And I've already got them signed.
You've already got them signed. Okay.
No, so short story is they bought out this box that what would happen is you'd get, say, for example, like, and a lot of the breakers on things did it where you actually could open it and would have random things in it. So it might have like a Mike Tyson signed glove or like a jersey or something like this. And one of the items was the underwear that they wear over the trunks. You know how they
So the shore ones. Yeah,
they're kind of like exercise budgie smugglers over the top of trunks, I'm guessing. But it has Bret the Hitman Hart in it with the pink heart with the wings and stuff. And weirdly, I was on eBay one day and I typed in Bret Hart because I knew they came out and I wanted to see, and they're like $300, $200, $280, and I'm like, I really want them, but they're way too expensive. And then a couple of days later, I just searched on my phone, but for some reason it changed Hart, as in Hart, how he spells it, to actual Heart.
Yeah.
And somebody had it spelt that way, and they're at $20 with an hour and a half to go. So I was like, I'm willing to pay about $100 for them. They're at $20. They started at $20, so I put $100 on it, pressed the button, and it was like, okay, you're up. You've got $100. So I was like, sweet. And then kind of forgot about them because I'm like, if they go over, I don't want to be pressured to bid again. I'm just going to be like, that's my budget. That's what I'm spending. And then I get a message on my phone saying it's got 10 minutes left. And I'm like, don't look at it. And then I was like, and then I went into a meeting. And then I went into a meeting with work. And then it was probably about an hour later, I come out of my meeting and stuff. And it came up with, you have to pay. And I was like, okay, let's see how much I got them for. And I got them for $20. So Bret Hart undies signed. I was like, hell's yeah.
All because someone didn't know how to spell Hart. Oh my God, that's so good.
Yeah, they mispronounced it. And I was like, yes, because I'm guessing he got it in a break or he got it in something.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm just going to sell it. But I'm like, got his knickers, baby. I don't know if I should tell that story to him, but hey, weird things have happened.
Oh, at least that's a good conversation open with him. Oh, I've got a pair of your knickers, by the way.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, damn it. The problem was he had trunks underneath it, so they don't smell good.
Oh,
yeah, I know.
Oh, damn it.
That's weird, eh? Like that.
Anyway, what happened with your New Year? Can I ask? Did you get up to anything on the New Year?
Absolutely nothing. I literally, Goddess, myself, and 3 of her friends, we literally just played video games until like 1 a.m. It was a ball.
Okay.
Because normally Oz has a New Year's Eve party every year. So I don't even really make plans because we just go to that every year, have a ball. Normally we cook a barbecue, and by cook a barbecue is he throws everything on, starts drinking, gets sidetracked and forgets about the barbecue, so I cook the barbecue. It happens every single year. So normally what happens is I go into the kitchen and I help make the salads and do all the cutting and stuff. Yep. And then when Oz is ready for the barbecue, he tells me he's going to the barbecue. He heats it up, he cleans it and does all the manly things and then walks away and forgets about it. And then occasionally comes back and just like will turn a sausage. I'm like, thanks, bro.
I just turned him, Nick. I just turned him.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, thanks, bro. Like that's why this side's cooked and the underside wasn't. So when you've turned it now, you've got cooked, not cooked. Cooked. I'm like, yeah, cool, thanks, man. And then he hands me back the tongs. He goes, I'll be back in a sec. So I just turn the sausage over and just let him walk off. But no, his partner's been super unwell and stuff, and he's decided that he just wasn't going to have it. So I was like, I've got no idea what I'm doing. I'm kind of okay with that. So then we just played video games. We played Farlight till probably about 1, 2 in the morning. So it was kind of cool, and I'm getting a lot better at it. So I think right now the character that I play, I'm 15th in the world. 15th in Australia. So
okay. All right, I need to check out this game. I need to have a look at it.
Let me send you a link because there is a link where I get a bonus. Because I really
do I get a bonus?
If you get somebody else to follow, you know what you should do? Sign up using my link so I get a bonus and I get all excited. And then when you edit this podcast, put your link at the bottom so that people click on that, and then you get all the bonus things, because I'm like, that's the smart way to do it. But that being said, though, I do know that you can play it on mobile and on computer. PC? So it's kind of cool.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Computer.
on the magical box that we turn on to record podcasts.
I know. The podcast box. That's what it is. Sorry.
The podcast box.
PC podcast box.
Oh man, that sounds.
But that sounds like you. I've done nothing, and it's been fantastic. Like, it's been the first time in a long time I've had time off over Christmas, and I've done nothing, and it's been magical. It sounds bad, but it's been magic.
Well, my New Year's was a bit more eventful. We decided to have some quiet drinks with a couple of sets of neighbours.
He says quiet, but I messaged him on the 3rd or the 4th, and you were still hungover?
Yeah. No. Okay. All right. So right. Okay. Right. For start off, it wasn't my fault. Okay.
Bullshit.
Listen.
Oh, there must be some dust or something around here.
Listen. Right. For start off, I was being so good. I was being. I was sticking to the beer. It was all being sensible, and we were just having some drinks, and then. We even played. We've got. What you mean.
Yeah.
Okay. But we played the adult version, which is you take the pack of the adult cards, where it says these are for adults only.
Yeah.
And you dish out, I think it's like 5 picture cards instead of doing the picture to the thing. But basically the adult reads out one of the adult cards, and you pick a picture to suit it. So it's the opposite of how you play it. And of course, we got both sets in there, and we're having a good giggle and good laugh, and we all got loosened up and everything else. And then shots started happening. We started doing shots of peanut butter whiskey, which I'll tell you now, it does not taste of peanut butter. If someone was to give it to me and say, "What flavour do you want to think? What flavour is that?" I will say that's butterscotch whiskey, because it only has the slightest hint of peanut butter, right?
Yeah.
So it starts off like that, and then we were doing shots of Jameson's orange. Yes, because I found it in New Zealand and I bought several bottles.
Oh god!
And then this is the worst bit. So this is where it all went downhill, right? One of the neighbours,
because that wasn't where it went downhill.
Oh no! We're all loosey goosey and enjoying ourselves, eating plenty of food. We're all being smart. We're having food. We're hydrating. We're being good. One of the neighbours then runs out, and I'm like, oh, he must have, thought he left the stove on or left the oven on or whatever. Comes back carrying a bottle of brown liquid and 2 bottles of this yellowy substance. And I'm like, what the hell is that? He said, this is homemade limoncello and homemade whiskey.
Oh, you're fucked.
Oh, God.
You are fucked.
No. It was Fajoa. No, it wasn't homemade whiskey. It was Fajoa alcohol. So Fajoa is a native New Zealand
I've seen those,
plant.
yeah.
And it's either you either love it or you hate it.
Crown on the top, yeah? Is that what they
yes,
are?
you either love it or hate it. And I've never had a Fajoa yet. And after having this liquor, that thing burnt, right? So we did the limoncello first. And I'm not the greatest person on limoncello. And we found out afterwards that apparently my wife, she happily admits that, because everybody has that one liquor that you have, and it will generally induces vomiting immediately, right? For me, it's amber tequila. Amber tequila and me, we are not friends. We have attempted it throughout the years. We have never been friends. If I need to get rid of anything in my body, I will have a shot of amber tequila, and whatever's in me is coming out. God forbid. I just don't do amber tequila, right? Now, according to Elle, limoncello's hers, which is fine. But she had it, and she was fine. Absolutely fine. And she's like, oh my God, maybe it's just commercial stuff I can't handle.
There is a lot more chemicals, so I would understand that, and it makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, surely, right, you used to be a barman. You've tried many, many, many a liquor in your time. Surely,
Yes.
What's your one?
I don't have one.
No, come on, everybody's got one.
No,
Everybody has that one thing.
I've only been drunk 4 times in my life. Because
but I'm talking about something that doesn't make you feel drunk. It makes you go, oh, nope.
Tequila I did have a weird one with, but it wasn't me. What had happened was, so we had a rule that if people were doing shots, they couldn't just order like 20 shots and then take it down to the table. They had to actually take it at the bar because obviously also shot glass gets stolen, and we were buying like 4 or 5 boxes of shot glasses. Yeah. So this girl who'd been there about 6 months, knew the rules, gave this dude 26 shots of tequila, which is just under a bottle. And the dude sat there because he was playing catch up, and his mate was standing next to him. He's like, yeah. So he did 26 shots of vodka, and then his mate hands him a beer and goes, yeah. And he's sculling, and then you just see this bubble come in the beer, and you're like, yeah, this is going to end well. So this dude who hasn't eaten, who's just drank 26 bottles of ale, puked this tequila and stomach bile all over my 4.5 meter long bar, to the point where before we could ask people to leave because we couldn't serve like that, people were already leaving from the smell. We had 7 bartenders on, and there's only me and Ando who were the only ones that could actually do it. The poor other girls literally couldn't stomach it and went, can we go? We just can't. So then what we had to do is we had to hose down, so we used the fire hose down the entire bar into the bar, because that's where obviously the trap was, and we weren't going to do it onto the carpet. Hose that all down, hose down the entire bar area, then put every rack of glasses through that, boiling water, and do the entire like ice wells, all the bottles. So the smell of tequila and stomach bile sometimes gets to me, but I can still drink tequila.
Yeah.
That was a fun night. Let's say that was a fun.
Was it amber
night.
tequila?
No, it was the
silver.
The one with the little red sombrero on it.
Yeah. That's Jose Cavero.
Yeah, the cheap one, the cheap nasty clear
was
one.
It, no, but was the colour of it the amber colour?
No, it was a clear one. It was the cheapest.
Oh, it was the silver.
It was the cheapest, nastiest one.
Oh, no. I love silver tequila. Honestly, silver tequila. Silver
tequila has a better flavour. So I actually, when I was in America, we actually had a tequila expert come down and do it. No, Sierra it was. Sierra tequila.
Okay.
So, yeah. And, no, we actually had like a proper guy come down and taught us all about tequila. Tequilas are amazing. The problem with tequila is the cactus that it's in has an enzyme that will actually make you throw up in it until it's been distilled more than about 6 times, he said, between 5 and 6 times, depending on the filter and that. A lot of cheap tequilas are done between 4 and 5 times, which means that there's still a little bit of that enzyme in it, which is why it makes you puke your guts up. So that is some useless information that may win you a...
The more you know.
Yeah, it is. But that's what it is. But it actually has an enzyme in it. And he was saying that a lot of the premium tequilas actually do it between 7 and 10 times to try to get rid of that and to keep the flavour and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yes. Wow. I know. We need to find that. I don't even know how to... I couldn't even make that if I tried, but it was just funny.
No, God forbid. So anyway, basically, so we're all drinking, we're all having shots. At that point, obviously, I've gone from having beer to then obviously started taking shots, and then Drunken Jay took the wheel at that point. He was like, you know what would be a really good idea now?
Everything.
Let's go on to rum and coke. Let's go. Yeah, rum and coke. I had a full bottle Saturday night, right? It was a full bottle. I opened it. When I woke up the next morning, there was only a quarter of the bottle left. Now, I know I served a couple to my neighbours, but I will admit I know the majority of it went in my glass. And
Oh
I
my
wasn't,
God.
and we're not talking single serve either. We're talking drunken doubles. So yeah. So anyway, but basically we got to midnight. All of a sudden we realised, oh, it's the countdown. Literally, we realised we're literally a minute to go. What time it was. Bear in mind, we've got like a couple of kids have passed out in the media room watching a movie.
Oh my God.
Eddie's still up. We've been doing dancing. We've been doing YouTube dancings. So like we did the cha-cha slide, the cha-cha real smooth. Do, 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 do. We're doing all that jazz. So we had a great night.
Every part of me just
And then
wants
we
to
realised-
see Jordan. Teach me how to Dougie. Teach me how to Dougie.
But yeah, so we were having dancing. We had a great night, and then midnight comes in, and then let's have a bottle of champagne. We
God.
crack a bottle of bubbles, and then I remember I was having a drink, and then next thing I know, I've woke up and I'm lying face down on my quilt in my bedroom, and I'm like,
Oh shit.
and it's like that it's that moment of where it's like,
Oh God.
wasn't I just having a drink?
That is, yeah.
And then I realised that I'm like, oh, I'm fully clothed. Oh, I'm the only one in this bedroom. It's like, what the hell? And so I get up, and bear in mind, I and it wasn't a walk. It was barely a shuffle, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. It was barely a shuffle.
Far. We're also going to find out though that it was actually the third that he woke up on.
Yeah, but yeah. So then I walked her to the kitchen, and there's Elle, and she's like, "Good morning. How are you?" And I was like, "I don't remember what happened." She went, "It got to 12:30. You said you were just going to the toilet. Then we realised that you hadn't returned after 20 minutes, and I came, and we all found you planted face down, snoring your head off with your phone on the ground."
Oh no.
And I said, "Okay, so what happened?" "Oh, we continued the party." And I was like, "What time did people leave?" "About 2:30. Wiki, our neighbour, is currently asleep in the spare room, so please keep your voice down." I was like,
That is
"Okay,
amazing.
did anyone else?" And she said, "Oh yeah, Dan can't find his car keys." I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, we're going to have a search." And Erica has just turned, our other neighbour who was there with us, she turned up. She felt so bad about leaving the state of the house because obviously everyone left so late.
Yeah.
She turned up to help clean, and I was like, "Right, what I'll go do is I'm going to go have a quick shower."
Yeah.
She went, "It's all right, just take your time. I'm cooking some bacon, and I'll have a sandwich ready for you." I was
Again,
like, "Oh, you are so amazing."
that woman deserves
She
so
did.
much.
So she ended up sort of. So I had a quick shower, cold one, because I just needed to snap myself out of it. And then I just came through, had a quick bite to eat, and then I cracked on, helped tidy it up and thing, and it was just. And then it was, and then literally I was really bad in the morning, and then suddenly by lunch I was like, okay, this is manageable for the day. But then Elle switched. Elle was really good in the morning, and then suddenly she got to that same point, and she was like, and her body went, "We're done."
Yeah. Don't mind me. I'm passing out.
Yeah, so I looked after Elle for the afternoon and made sure she was fed and everything else sort of thing. She's like, "Thank you for looking after me." It's like, "It's all right. You've done the same for me this morning."
Yeah.
I said, "I'm here for you, babes. We'll work through this together."
Oh my God.
But yeah, but literally, I mean, the one thing we were proud of ourselves, right? Because normally,
Was that you
our
didn't
normal,
die?
our normal cure on hangover days, right, is we go to Macca's or Domino. We get the greasiest thing we can inject grease into the body, and that normally it doesn't fix us, but it makes us mortal. It makes us livable for a minute. But that day we decided, we were just like, we've got all this food, and we'll just make dinner at home. And so we just did that, and we were so proud of ourselves for not getting a massive Macca's.
I'm proud of myself for not being thing, but I'm like, it's probably also because two of you couldn't drive.
Oh yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I was done. I didn't drive at all that day, and I'm pretty sure I shouldn't have the day after either.
Oh no.
But I had to, but literally in the afternoon of that first day, I was like, I think I need a hair of the dog because I am struggling now. And I thought, because I just started creeping up the sickness, and I thought, right, I'm just going to have hair of the dog. I'll tell you what, it's amazing how long a bacon lasts when you really don't want to chew it. I had the first sip. Between the first sip and the second one was 35 minutes. I couldn't do it.
That's like taking a sip of a perfectly cold beer, taking a second sip of a warm beer. You're like, how did I go from New Zealand to London, like in the matter of a few minutes?
I just could not do it. It was so bad. But yeah. So anyway, I learned my lesson, and I felt better after that sort of thing. And I obviously, but you know, it was just one of those blocks. But the neighbours all said that they had a great time, so I felt good about it.
That's all that matters.
When the neighbours come along and you've had a good party and everyone's super hyped, all good.
Yeah, but it is kind of funny because I think it would have been like a third or something, and you were still feeling like,
oh yeah,
pretty rough.
I wasn't. It took me about 2 days. I mean, that's the one thing I miss about younger Jay. Remember those nights? You'd have it. You go down to Wetherspoons, have a brekkie, and you were right as rain. Right as rain from 8 a.m. It's like, let's go midday. Let's have a beer.
My biggest problem is when people tell stories like that, they're like, "What were you doing?" I was like, "I was probably working." That's the biggest problem. Is I was more than likely working when all this was happening, and I'm like, "God damn it!" But that being said, though, I did earn way too much money, and it was kind of nice.
Oh yeah, no. Generally, I was working as well, especially when I was a teen, because it was just more cost effective to work than it was to go out drinking. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, I have just realised how long we've been recording, and we better wrap this episode up. Seems like we've just told my beautiful story.
Yeah, and I was going to say yours is a lot more exciting than mine. It's like, what did you do? I just played video games. But to be fair though, this holiday has been all about video games for me. And considering, like, though I work in tech and that, I don't play many video games, so it's weird for me to find something I enjoy as much as this. That doesn't also cost me like $300 a week. Like bloody wow.
Well, we're gonna have to get me on it, and then we can give it an honest opinion and review. I can speak. He's like, is it how close is it to New Year's? I'm still going. Oh, absolutely not. Anyway, we want to say a big thank you. We've had a lot of support over the channel while we've been on break, so we want to thank you very much. Lots of people have been listening and watching and everything else, so thank you very much. Please make sure you do like, share, and subscribe, and let us know what you want us to talk about. If you want to talk about video games and everything else, I am in the market to discuss next-gen consoles. So that's going to be an episode at some point because I'm so debating.
As in the next Xbox, or like the one that's coming up, or as in the one that we're currently released, PS5 and Xbox Series X?
I want to hold out. I want to hold out for the next one, but the problem is that because. Anyway, you know, I've always been an Xbox guy, so I'm debating about betraying Xbox. But anyway, we'll talk about that on a future episode. But I want to say a big thank you to all our recent subscribers and followers. Please make sure you do like, share, and subscribe. And please come back to see our beautiful faces on Spotify and YouTube. And we are going to be a bit more active on social media. I am going to plan on setting up an Instagram account for us, because that is where we need to rock it, because quite frankly, Twitter is dead. Don't like Twitter anymore. It is pointless.
It's called X now.
Oh, sorry, X. X is dead. But no one likes X.
One thing I have noticed, though, is this is just quick, but in every single article I see, it says X, formerly Twitter, or it will say Twitter, now known as X, or something like that, because it just feels weird saying X.
It's one of those things. I understand. I don't know why Elon Musk has an obsession with X, that is in the letter. I don't know, but it's just not for everyone. To be fair, you know, there used to be a bar in my town, right? It was called Chasers, and then it got bought out by a new company, and they called it something else. And everyone used to walk in saying, "Where's Chasers?" "Oh, it's just down the way. Four pubs. It's now called this." Okay. And then literally about 2 bar changes later, we went back to Chasers because no one would call it by its newer name, sort of thing. Even when I went home now on the last holiday, I said, "Oh, where's Chasers?" "Oh yeah, no, it's still down there. It's just called this." And it's like, okay, thanks.
It is funny when things are known like that. Like I know we had several bars like that where it's like, "Where's this?" And it's like, "It's there." I'm like, that's not the same place. And it is weird how that happens. But yeah, no. All good. We'll love you guys and leave you guys, but stay tuned for the Xbox versus PlayStation debate.
Oh God, that's going to get some hate.
It's probably good though.
Much love, guys. Peace out.
Views.